My name is Mud. For you Primus fans, you would know what I'm talking about. What's up, guys? Shaun Blue here. A shout out to all the gente up north and the homies down south. Uh, just chilling out at my place right now. It's a little past 8 o'clock. It's about 8:30. But yeah, just chilling out at my place. Here to talk to you guys more about what I think about this whole transgender movement and how it's just freaking weird and gross and just not right. Because for a grown man that wants to dress up like a woman, I say go for it. I remember watching a documentary about Little Richard, and the old rock star, and Little Richard used to be into that and stuff, and his not transgender, but his drag queen friends they wanted him to actually dress more like a woman on stage and stuff like that, but he didn't do that. He just would wear the makeup, and that's very cool. Good for him. But for what's going on now with children being pushed into and kind of like forced and to start dressing up like women and stuff like that, and vice versa, girls being forced to dress up like boys, and even more common, I think, boys being forced and guys kind of like being forced to dress up as women. It's or dress up as girls. It's so freaking creepy and weird, and it's just so fucked up. And like, okay, there's this one Freddy Krueger movie called I think that a lot of this has to do with pedophiles. I think pedophiles are behind a lot of this crap with this whole new thing going on with MAP. And MAP stands for Minor Attractive Person. And they're trying to get into the alphabet people, gays, lesbians, and transgenders and all that crap. Well, and it's just like weird, sexualizing children and talking about this whole weird transgender thing, this whole big movement. Apparently these people always existed, and I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. And it's because like this new weirdo stuff being pushed on children, no different than Alfred Kinsey tried to do back in the 40s and 50s with little kids. If you ever knew about Alfred Kinsey, please look into Alfred Kinsey. He wrote the book Male Sexual Behavior, or Human Sexual Behavior of the Human Male, or something like that. I can't remember the title exactly, but there's a lot of disturbing stuff in that book. And I just don't like what's going on with society with all this stuff. And like there was this one Freddy Krueger movie. It was like Freddy Krueger 6, and it was like Freddy's Dead. It was called something like that. A very good movie. And there was this one black guy in the movie. He was like a child psychologist, and he would work with these like children, these troubled like teenagers. And this one young woman who believed that she turned out to be Freddy's daughter. Her and these like other like teenagers and stuff like that, they were going into the dreams to fight Freddy and confront Freddy. And one time they went in the dreams and they saw the black guy in there. And I compared myself to the black guy, because they see the black guy and they're like, what are you doing in here? Like, we didn't tell you about how to get inside dreams and stuff like that. But he already figured out on his own, because he's like, I'm not fooled by Freddy's tricks. And that's how I am too. I'm not fooled by these like, transgenders and these pedophiles tricks, about how we're all like, how there's always been like people that think that we're like girls that were trapped in boys' bodies and all that BS. It's like, no, I'm not fooled by their tricks. And yeah, there is evil at play, and how did the saying go? Our real enemy has not yet to reveal themselves. So like, who's ever behind this has not yet to reveal themselves, whoever that person might be, or those people might be. And it's weird, like, they're trying to put like weirdos on like beer cans, and this doesn't even bother me this much, but like how guys, transgender guys, or transgender women are allowed to be in like women's like soccer teams and like swim events and stuff like that, and that's messed up. But that doesn't even bother me as much as it does with a lot of other people. I just don't like the fact that they think they can just barge into women's locker rooms now, because there was a young teenage girl that was raped by a teenage boy who claimed to be a girl trapped in a boy's body. So yeah, it's not normal. It's not normal, and I don't want to pretend that it's normal. And same with this weird drag queens storybook time. None of that's normal and stuff like that. And I saw on YouTube there was this like black preacher guy that went into one of those things, and like all the people were panicking and they were all scared of him and stuff like that. And it was interesting. I was thinking, like, what kind of people would take their children to a drag queen storybook time? And it turned out it was a lot of same-sex couples that were doing it. Like I saw like these like, I'm going to call them sissies. Yeah, these two sissy guys, these two sissy gay guys were running away from the black guy. And they're like, oh, I don't want to talk to you and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, you freaking sissy boys. You're scared when he confronted you and stuff like that for doing that weird stuff by having this drag queen like read like weird storybooks to them. Like, what's that about? And even drag queens have spoken out about this. There was this one drag queen that's spoken out about that how like it doesn't make any sense. Like drag queens, that's for like grown-ups and stuff like that. He even said like it was like porn star storybook time, and it would be like a porn star woman reading to like little school kids. Like, why? That's for grown-ups. And it's and this kind of came overnight. Like, not overnight, it's been going on for a while, but 10 years ago it wasn't like this. Like, what the hell is going on with society, just like the movie, and it's just as weird. And I was thinking, like, is this turning into some big type of weird cult? And in that case, can we fast forward to just drinking the Kool-Aid part, because this is such BS. And with like these freaking trendsetters with their narcissism and their Machiavellianism way of looking at life. It's like, fuck you guys. It's like, stop pushing your weirdo beliefs onto people and stuff like that. If you want to dress up like a woman, be my guest. Go right ahead. But don't push that weird beliefs on children. And like, I never went to like a gay parade, like a gay rights parade, but like, apparently they dress inappropriate, and people take children there. It's like I saw these guys like wearing like leather dog mask, and they were having like this like little kids like pet their heads and stuff. It's like, what the hell? Like, they're petting their heads like they're real dogs. But it's not like Pluto and Goofy and stuff like that, like fun like little costumes like that. It's like S&M like leather outfits. It's like, what the hell? It's creepy stuff like that. I just can't stand. And if gay people should be speaking out against this, and I know some are, like I said about that, the drag queen that spoke out about drag queen storybook time. And he's like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. But yeah, but it's just getting wild out there. And I was thinking, like, okay, there was this one gay guy that he's from the California prison system. He's like infamous. He's very famous. His name was like Pincushion Smith. And like Pincushion Smith was this like crazy homosexual predator in the California prison system who assaulted many men. And there was this one guy, this one Aryan Brotherhood guy named Michael Thompson. And Michael Thompson actually shared a cell with him. We shared a cell with Pincushion Smith for a little while. And Michael Thompson, because like kind of like confronted verbally, he's like, what's wrong with you? He pretty much said, what the hell's like wrong with you? And Pincushion Smith was just saying like, oh, every god that I had, sex with, they wanted it. And of course they didn't. But that's his like twisted way of justifying why he assaulted so many men. And I guess, and Pincushion Smith's just like a fascinating character to look up into, because okay, like unlike those sissy boys that were running away from the black preacher, like at least Pincushion Smith is like in your face about it. He's like, yeah, he's like a freaking weirdo, but like he's like an old school maniac, and like the old school maniacs don't really exist like that anymore. Where yeah, he was like locked up in California prison. Pincushion Smith was locked up in California prison back in the day, and don't get me wrong, Pincushion Smith is a very evil man, but also at the same time, I gotta admire how like freaking like. Well, like brave he is, but maybe he was just really nuts, because the reason that they called him Pincushion Smith is because like he was stabbed so many freaking times that he has like scars all over his freaking body. And like the Aryan Brotherhood like made like a green light on Pincushion Smith. It's like, if you see this guy, get him. And And the Aryan Brotherhood, like back in the day, were like these like, and like this was back in the day, Aryan Brotherhood. I'm not talking about what it's like now. I don't know, but back in the day, like Baron the Hulk or whatever the hell his name was, like the big, like mean, like looking like guys. And I was thinking, like, wow, like even with like people like stabbing Pincushion Smith, and like he not only he didn't die, but he didn't even like change his ways. So like for like some evil person fighting on the other side of this, hats like I don't want to say hats off to him, but like okay, like that's a bad guy that's representing the other side. That's not a coward. He's just a bad guy, but he's about the business because yeah, like the Aryan Brotherhood back in the day were like really like scary characters, but yeah, Pincushion Smith didn't change his ways, and I think his like real name is pretty much lost in time. And one more interesting about Pincushion Smith is that he just died a few years ago, so he had like a very long life in the prison system, and he didn't like die this like very interesting way, like he was finally just stabbed to death. Like no, he survived all that crap. He just one day just didn't wake up. That's how Pincushion Smith's life ended. And I'm kind of curious what his like upbringing was like. And I know if I ever look into it, it would just be a disappointment because it would probably just be like oh cliche, and but but because like it's so weird that we live in this like polite society and like a Pincushion Smith would exist among us. It's like we're like obviously he was locked up, so he didn't really exist among us. But it's just weird how like as society makes people like that, and what's going on with these transgenders things, and how I think evils are behind it. And and of course I'm not saying all transgender people are evil. That's absolutely not true. But I think they're a lot of times victims of this craziness, like children being forced to dress like girls. Those people are not going to grow up to be healthy people. So pray for America, pray for the world, and just enjoy the beauty of this world. Because not that long ago, I was at the beach and I saw a seal surfing the waves among the humans, and the seal like looked at me, and I pointed at the seal like that, hey, and like the seal just like looked at me and then looked away and just kept on going and going in the waves, diving up and down. And these girls are like, oh wow, a dolphin, but it wasn't a dolphin, it was a seal. But just like really cool shit like that. And be like the black guy from Freddy Krueger 6. Don't fall for these tricks that these weirdos are pushing on us. All right, peace out, Blue Chase, and stay safe.